Right, I'm joined by Geoff Murphy of the incredible band Call Me Amour, and they're heading out on a huge festival season with appearances at Slam Dunk Festival and 2000 Trees, I do believe. Whilst you personally,
Yeah, both of
you're
them. Yeah.
also on supporting Walk for Uproar, which is raising money for Uprawr Mental Health Foundation. So I definitely want to chat to you about this because it is a topic quite close to my heart as well, mental health. But later on,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to actually find out
yeah.
how you survive when the festivals that you're appearing at suddenly became the last place on earth. Because, Geoff, you're going to be welcomed right now to your own personal apocalypse. So, we're going to start off. People always enjoy this, I find. Now, we're going to start off with,
No.
you're playing both Slam Dunk and 2000 Trees this year. And for
Yeah,
a lot of bands, these are quite, these are milestone festivals. Although Slam Dunk's got really quite big recently,
yeah,
I'm surprised it's still one day. How does it feel,
yeah,
heading
yeah.
into both of these festivals so close together?
I mean, it's a privilege. This is kind of our first outing for Call Me More to play at a festival. So to get two so close together, yeah, we've always sort of dreamt about doing the festivals, Slam Dunk, 2000 Trees Down, all these festivals that bands are doing. So yeah, as our first go at it, yeah, we're really buzzing about it. We're looking forward to going. Hopefully the weather holds out because typically it rains at
Yeah,
these kind of festivals, especially when I'm there as well.
well,
So
Slam Dunk, sorry, I was going to call it Slammy D, which was coined by a friend of mine, which I absolutely love, by the way.
yeah, yeah.
Slam Dunk, I've always found it to be relatively good weather, and last year at 2000 Trees, it killed me. I went the other way with sunstroke, I couldn't cope. So, yeah,
Oh,
it was
really?
hot. It was like, yeah. Um, but which one are you sort of most drawn to? Because 2000 Trees has this very sort of air of the unknown around it. It's the sort of festival you can go to
Yeah,
discover bands.
yeah. Um, do you know I don't have a preference, and that's the God's honest truth. I'm not. I wouldn't be able to pick one. I mean, I've never been to either. This is
Really?
the strange thing. I've been to Download multiple times. I've never been to Slam Dunk, and I've never been to 2000 Trees. So I'm looking forward to both equally. And at both festivals, there's like unbelievable bands that I want to see. And as you said, I think 2000 Trees has the more sort of the unknown band, or the smaller bands that you can discover. I mean, that's the big thing for me at festivals. Obviously, I do want to go and see the bigger bands, like 2000 Trees has the Bronx. But I'm also looking forward to seeing, discovering new bands and looking at some of the bands that are lower down in on the set, like the likes of Unpeople, um, who else? The
Oh,
Dinosaur Pileup, who we've
yes.
toured with before. But, seeing bands like that, I'm looking forward to that. But I couldn't pick between the two, which is going to be the favourite one. I've never been to them either, so I'll be able to make a decision on which one was better
Well,
after.
I mean, this is a sort of a similar question, but I'm going to try and phrase it slightly different. There is different experience to Slam Dunk and 2000 Trees. Slam Dunk being, more high intensity one day event where everyone's trying to cram everything in.
Yeah.
Whereas 2000 Trees, found it's got a more hippie orientated feel to it.
Is it? I
Yeah,
kind of
I
I
mean,
get that.
the,
Yeah, I mean, I know
yeah.
friends that have been. They said it's chilled out. It's a little bit more like, as
Yeah.
you said,
I mean,
hippies
if
kind
you
of
ever
vibe
need
to it.
some time away, just go to the forest stage and you'll just be like, why don't all festivals have this?
Zen
It's.
out.
But what sort of festival experience do you personally prefer out of those two? Not asking you to pick between them, but you prefer the high intensity or the more relaxed vibe?
Do you know what? I think I've changed over the years. To start with, it was all about the high intensity, cramming in as many things as possible, and you like out of breath running from one stage to the next, and now I've got a bit older. I like to sort of like take my time and chill out and just take in a band and then go for a beer and then go to the next one. I'm not one of these people that'll have like a schedule of which bands, and I have to be here at 1 o'clock. I have to be there at 2 o'clock. But I think now I'm kind of more laid back and I don't mind just drifting around and picking up new bands that I haven't seen and seeing new things, bumping into people that you haven't seen for a while. So yeah, I think I'll go for the the more chilled out vibe.
So what you're
for this
saying
one.
is you're a bit like me. There was a time back in your youth that you'd be there, you'd be the guy crowd surfing to the front,
That you could actually,
causing the mayhem
yeah,
and all of that,
yeah,
and then now you're at the back, nodding along, thoroughly enjoying it, looking at your watch, going, "Ah, looks
that's
like I'm
it.
going to miss that other
Tapping your
band
foot.
because sod that, I'm not
Yeah,
moving."
that's pretty much it. Yeah,
But
that's
crowds
it.
at different festivals like Slam Dunk and 2000 Trees, they kind of feel like they demand slightly different things. What's your take on it? And are you going to try and approach your performances in a different way, perchance?
Um, I don't think we will. I don't think it will affect how we play as a band. I think just the mere fact that you're on stage in front of people, and you bounce off the crowd. So when the crowd are enjoying themselves, and at festivals, everyone's just in a vibe, aren't they? They're just there having a few beers in a field. If the weather's great, so we'll be bouncing off the crowd as well. And I don't think we'll be going into like say 2000 Trees in a more relaxed sort of hippie vibe. We're still going to do what we do on stage and give it as much as we can and play with the crowd as opposed to them. So yeah, I think we'll just be going all out on both
Well, I mean, I
events.
do have to say, because I have seen you live. Was it last year or the year before? Was your first major show at the Underworld, I believe it was, and that was a cracking show.
Oh yeah,
We had a
yeah,
chat with you before the
yeah.
show and everything, and you guys
That's
really
right.
did
Yeah,
get into the audience. So let's hope you're able to do that. Although security might not let
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys back on stage, I don't know. It could go badly wrong.
We'll bypass them. We'll jump
Now,
over them.
festivals, as you've sort of alluded to, are a place where people do discover, new bands for the first time. So when you step out on that
Yeah.
stage at events like these, are you thinking about specifically trying to win over new listeners and try and gain them, or are you more focused on playing for the fans that are there, or is it a bit of both?
I think they're both a byproduct of just what you do naturally. I don't think. I mean, obviously, it's in your head that you're there to sort of play to the fans that follow you and support you, and you want to win new fans as well. But I think that just comes with you doing what you do. So as long as we go out there and perform and play the songs the way we usually do, we're just hoping that people do like it and pick up on it and start supporting us and following us. I think that's the only thing we can do. We don't like consciously try to gain new fans. If we just want to play the way we do, and then hopefully people like it.
I mean, festivals as well for new and old fans alike. It is also a great place to
Yeah,
showcase new music. Is there going to be a chance for us to hear
yeah,
something
yeah.
new from Call Me Amour that no one's heard before?
Uh, possibly. Yeah, we're kind of finalizing. We're rehearsing now, and we've got a couple more rehearsals as well, pre-production and stuff like that. So we haven't finalized it, but yeah, possibly. Let's
Well,
hope
if not,
so.
just come out and do a cover of like The Who or Bowie or something. So I'm watching the t-shirt in the background. I mean, what can I
Yeah,
say?
I'll do. Yeah,
Now, something else I wanted to talk about. Because at the time of this
yeah,
recording, you've got Walk for Uproar coming up on the 3rd of May, which is,
yeah,
just a couple of days away. So, it's a 37-mile
yeah,
walk around the Isle of Man, TT course, raising money for
yeah,
the Uprawr Mental Health Foundation. Now, regardless of
yeah.
like the fact that it's a good cause, that is a serious challenge. What is it about this particular, not necessarily the charity, but the actual challenge that you're taking on? What was it about that and made you want to be part of it?
Well, I can't take all the credit for it because it's not. I'm not actually doing the full walk.
Oh,
I know. I've got it easy. I'm doing like an hour's worth, so I'm going to be. It's Harry that will be doing the full 37
right.
miles, and I think he'll be setting off at like 5:30 in the morning. Myself and Harry both live on the Isle of Man, so and we've spent many years around the TT festival, which is a great festival, regardless of whether you're into road racing, bikes, or motorsport. It's just a really good atmosphere, good vibe. So yeah, it was just a challenge that Harry picked up on. It's a hell of a feat to walk around the course, 37 miles. So yeah, I think for me, it's an hour's stroll. They're supporting Harry, and obviously we've got other people on board. We've got Josh from the horror. Mikey Chapman from Mallory Knox, Alex Davies from Elliot Minor, Alex Baker from
Yep.
Kerrang Radio, and one of the riders that we sponsored, Dave Rigby. He's going to be doing a bit as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good on him. Good on him for trying this, rather him than
Well,
me.
tell him he's not allowed to injure himself because the last thing we want is for the appearances to be cancelled. Although you probably could
If he's hobbling about on stage, then he's got blisters all
just
over
wheel
his
him out in a
feet.
wheelchair or something like that. That's always good fun.
Yeah.
Now you have mentioned, there's other people doing this walk. You got Mikey Chapman from Mallory Knox, Josh from the Hurrah and
Yeah.
so on, and Alex Baker. What are you most
Yeah.
most looking forward to, sharing these hours walk with?
Um, I mean, I think we're just gonna. Each person that's going to join in for the hour is there, for support and to raise awareness. Obviously, the people that are doing it with us, they're well known. They're the likes of Mikey Chapman, Alex Davis, Alex Baker. They're all Josh. They're all in big bands, and they've got their own big following. So they're there to raise awareness and support Harry for doing it. So, I mean, I think we're just going to support him on the walk and just have a chat about, what he's doing it for, mental health, the awareness of it. I think that's just going to be, and we're going to obviously document this as well and put it out there, for people to watch after and hopefully, raise a bit of awareness to it.
Now, I know you're not doing the full 37 miles. You could have played on this. You could have been like, yeah, look at me, and then just at the end of it, just be like,
I know I
killed
should
it.
have.
No one would have known. But despite this, are you someone that's quite active anyway, or is this one of those moments where you probably looked at it and gone, have I gotten myself into something I shouldn't?
No, I mean, do you know what? They do this thing on the Isle of Man called the Parish Walk, and there's a number of parishes, which is like areas around the Isle of Man. And I can't remember how long it is, but it is a good, I mean, between 15 and 24 hours walking, solid walking. And I always say I could do that. It's easy. It's just walking. But I know people that have done it and they struggle to get a quarter of the way around before their feet are covered in
Yeah.
blisters and their body just gives up. I know Harry's done the parish walk before and he described it as every limb got so heavy he felt like he just couldn't do it. So I know this is going to be up there with as far as like hard challenges go. So for me, I mean, I kind of am glad that I'm just doing that one little bit. But I always think like, oh, I could do that. It's only walking. But I know that's just me being like, stupid. I know how hard it's going to be, and I know that Harry's
Yeah.
done it before with the parish walk, and how he's told me how hard it is to walk just half of what he's done. So
Well, I mean,
yeah,
weirdly enough, like I wish I was doing a different apocalypse later at the end because if you've ever seen that film, The Long Walk, have you heard of it? It's recently come out.
I haven't seen it. I've that's about the
Yeah.
kids doing the
So,
walk, isn't it?
maybe
Yeah,
I'll talk to you another time on Ampocalypse and we'll do that. We'll bring Harry along and we'll
yeah,
see
yeah.
how he survives the long walk with Mark Hamill chasing
I
him
might
in
tell
a
them to
tank.
watch it beforehand.
So, um, but mental health is such an important conversation, especially in heavy music. And Uprawr
Yeah,
specifically supports, the alternative community through counselling and so on. Why do you think it's so
yeah.
important that that sort of support exists for the scene? Because there is lots of mental health out there, but or mental health support, but this one is specifically for the alternative scene. How important do you think that actually is?
Yeah, I think it's hugely important, and it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but from being a teenager and being slightly different, and it's an alternative trend, kind of, with the coloured hair, the piercings, the tattoos, and all that. You kind of stand out, and often you get that comes with people like looking down on you or bullying and stuff, and I think some people struggle to cope with that. So I think like for the alternative scene, it's massively important. And it's important in general, obviously, for people to know that they're not
Yeah,
on their own and they don't have to struggle on their own. There's people out there's help out there with the likes of these foundations. So, but yeah, particularly I think with the alternative scene, I think I describe it as we're a little bit different. We're a little bit kooky. We're a bit out there in this scene. So yeah, it's important to feel like you're obviously there's a big community feel within it. But if you're ever struggling, within this kind of community, then there are other people out there that you can talk to. There's these foundations. So yeah, it's massively
So
important.
yeah, I mean, although this one is Uprawr you're working with, I do want to take the opportunity to give the shout out to, I think it's Metal for Good, who are normally represented at
Yeah,
Slam Dunk, not Slam Dunk, at 2000 Trees, and of course, actually they might be
yeah,
at Slam Dunk, I'm not sure, but of course the Sophie Lancaster Foundation as well. So I do want to give those two a
yeah.
shout out as well. Now,
Yeah,
yeah,
can I just mention Heavy Metal Therapy as well, or another one that have been to a few of our gigs, and just a shout out to them as
brilliant.
well.
No, and as again, I think it's really important, and I'm trying to make this interview fun, but we're getting really serious here. You know what I mean? Now, music is often a place where people turn to first when life does get too heavy, and obviously we listen to heavy music, so
Yeah,
there's a pun there in some form, I think.
yeah,
But
yeah.
have you found that, the connection with fans becomes deeper when these conversations become, beyond the music itself?
Yeah, I mean, we've had conversations with like a number of fans after shows, and they've shared with us the struggles, and they've always, said that our music has. Again, it sounds like a cliche, but they've said that the music has helped them through some tough times, and that's so good to hear that just what you make, you're playing on the guitar, what you birth from your musical brain and put it out there. There are people out there that they'll latch onto that, and it means so much to them, and it helps them. So it's that's the most one of the most rewarding things about being in a band and playing music is when you hear those people saying things to you after, it's hard not to sort of break down when you listen to some people's struggles, and you know that what you've done has helped them. But yeah, it's a rewarding part of it.
Now, I've already mentioned, this interview will be going out after the walk's taken place. But for anyone
Yeah, yeah.
hearing this right now, is there a way for them to actually donate to this organisation and support this, this walk after the fact? Because obviously, I will link it into the comments for people to go to.
Yeah, you can go on our socials on our Instagram pages, and the links will be there. And as you said, you'll put the links up. And I think if you want to donate, there's the walk itself, there'll be the opportunity to keep donating for a certain period of time. I don't know how long that's going to be open for, whether we keep it open, for a while. But there's all the links on our socials, and as you said, you'll
Yeah.
be putting them up there. So yeah, go and check it out, and it'd be good to sort
Yeah,
of do what you can
and
do.
just before we move into the apocalypse section of the interview, where it gets a bit fun and a little bit dark
Yeah.
as well, I'm gonna try and encourage Harry to, one, for you guys to play Download next year, and two,
Yeah,
they
cool.
do a bike ride from London to Download. Let's see if we can get him not walking and on a bike. You can do an hour of it,
On a bike.
no
Thank you,
problem.
mate.
But let's see if we can get him on that as
Harry will
well.
love that. If anyone challenges him,
I
he'll
wish he
want to
was
do it.
here right now. I'd challenge him to it. But
I'll tell him. I'll tell him. Don't worry.
anyway, we have talked about festivals that are already going on and all of that. So now it's
Yeah.
time to see how you would cope if the world was about to end and festivals literally became the last city on Earth. So, Geoff, this is your apocalypse. So the first question, if the world outside literally collapsed, the only safe place at this time is contained within the walls of the festival. Do you stay or do you leave? And sorry, do you leave or do you stay and try and ride it out at the festival?
I think I'd stay and try and ride it out at the festival. I mean, what better place to be at? I mean, Yeah, now I'm questioning whether that was the right decision. I think I'd say yeah.
So you're in a unique
Yeah.
position.
If there's a bar there and there's some bands
True.
playing, I'm staying.
Because I think you're in a unique position because if you can get from the festival back to the Isle of Man,
That's
there's
true.
pros and
Yeah.
cons. But you think
Yeah.
you'd stay put. There's a bar, there's food, there's music.
If everything's still there, yeah, if your friends are there, like-minded people, music, beer. Well, I mean, what else can you ask for? It's
I'd say the
ideal.
supplies to last, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are backstage.
When they run out, I'd probably leave.
Now, of course, festivals are basically small cities, at least for a few days anyway.
Yeah.
So, if society was to start
Yeah.
falling apart around it, what parts of a festival do you think would suddenly become incredibly valuable for survival?
Ooh, I suppose the cliched answer would be the bar, but I mean that's only sustainable for so long, isn't it? Um, a shower, I'd say. There's nothing worse than being at a festival and not being able to have a shower. But at least now, for me, if you spent all day in the sun, sweating, or rain, you're being rained. I mean, Harry went to download once, and we were setting up our tent, and it
Yep.
rained the whole time. We couldn't put the tent up for love for the money. After an hour of trying to get up, we got it up, got in the tent, soaking wet, and the sun came out, and we were lying there, and there was just steam coming off us, and it was like the most. That was day one as well, so it was the sweatiest experience ever. So I was glad that I could go and find a shower somewhere. So I'm gonna say the bar and a
Good
shower.
answer.
That'll do me.
Quite sensible with the shower as well. Like, there has to be a sensible element to it.
Yeah, it was a
Now,
bit. It was a yin and yang
exactly.
there, the bar, and then I'll have the sensible
Now, of
option.
course, all festivals, they do have different crowds and different scenes, and all of these people have different energies. So, in this new world where the festival might become the last long term settlement, what sort of fans do you think would thrive the most? Do you think it's the seasoned campers, the mosh pit warriors, or the people that somehow brought an entire gazebo village with them? Or someone different, perhaps? A
Um,
different demographic?
who you think would be the best place to be to
Who
hang
do you
out with?
think the
I
best
mean,
clan that would arise, perhaps? The best sort of group of fans, as it were?
this goes back to sort of what do you prefer out of a festival,
I
like a high intensity sort of.
suppose a bit.
Um, yeah, I mean, if I don't know how long, if it was the end of the world and this was the
Oh, it
last place,
definitely is.
there's only so long you can keep. Yeah, you can't. You can only keep the party going for so long. Um, the hangovers I could do without. So I'd probably go. The sensible answer would be to go with the seasoned campers because they're going to have everything. You know, the kind of person that turns up to a festival and you say, "Has anyone got a can opener?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yep." "Oh, anyone got a hairdryer?" "Yep." They've got everything. So I think I'd want to be around them. I think they'd be the ones to sort
Yeah.
of. They'd be the best
That's
clan.
probably sensible. I mean, I've been to so many festivals through my years myself. I actually stay in an Airbnb now
Yeah.
because, 1 year, torrential rain, and it just broke me. I was like, I'm not doing
Wise
that
choice.
again. But I'd
Yeah.
fine-tuned everything I needed. So I wasn't one of these gazebo village people, even though I was once upon a time. It was just like, what are the
Yeah.
essentials? So yeah, I think you've got it in one there. Now, if the festival suddenly becomes a functioning society, so all of these insane clans somehow start developing government and everything like that, it's actually quite a scary thing to think about, actually, especially in
Yeah.
today's political world. Um,
Yeah.
every community needs leadership. Which band on the Slam Dunk lineup, first of all, and then the 2000 Trees lineup, do you think would naturally rise to become leaders of the new festival civilization?
I mean, slam dunk. I'm gonna say Good Charlotte. I think they're veterans. They're still going. So they've been there before. They'll have leadership qualities. They'll know what to do. They've been through it so many times. So for slam dunk, I'll say them. Um, 2000 Trees. I'll say the Bronx for that.
Ah, good, cool. How come?
Yeah, because I'm a
All
massive
right.
fan, so I'd want them to be. I'd want to like bow down to
So
them.
nothing to do with their
Yeah,
leadership
the
skills.
Bronx.
You're just like they're the best band. Let them run it.
absolutely nothing to do with the
So
leadership skills. Just to
you're not
say,
throwing Call Me
that's my
Amour in the ring
that's
on
my
this.
boys. No, I think would be useless with Crumble. At the first sign of any like serious decision making would be. I mean, we're indecisive people. Which I don't know. You make a decision. So yeah, I think we'll leave that to the better bands there.
Now, this is the tricky part. Food, water, and supplies would quickly become essential in this new city. And festivals, they aren't exactly
Yeah.
known for cheap and plentiful, good quality food.
No.
So, what would be the smartest way to secure resources if everyone realised the festival might be the festival might actually last longer than planned?
The most. Say that again. Which were the
So,
most
food, water, and supplies, they will become quickly
running
essential,
out?
and they're not exactly known for cheap quality food. So, what would be the smartest way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
secure the resources if everyone realised the festival might last a bit longer than planned?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know how I'd get
I
around
think this
that
is where it
actually.
becomes a bit Mad Max, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? This is where the fighting
Yeah.
starts. Somebody's got chicken over there. We need to go over there and like take some off them. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. You got me stumped there. I don't know what I'd do to secure the. You'd have to find someone in a band that's got that terrifying. Someone like Alex the Terrible. Um, yeah, get him to sort of like lead the way into another camp, and he'd just scream at everyone, and they'd just hand over food
So
for
you're not
you.
going with the diplomatic approach.
That's
You're
where.
you're going with the Viking,
No,
like let's
that sounds really
let's
bad, doesn't it?
pillage and kidnap approach. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I could do the sensible thing
yeah.
and ask, like, please have pity on us.
Because
Just give
bear in
us
mind,
a
you
kebab or
guys are the
something.
artists. You've got like the backstage safe area with security and all of that. Us grunts are out the front fighting for it. You could actually just like block off the stage and just be like, watch the peasants fight over their rubbish. Who's got the ribs?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I'm quite a giving person, really. So I'd probably like invite people in, but showing them the back door to get backstage where all the supplies are for the bands and
So
stuff.
you're going to run the underground railroad into the safe part of town. Got ya.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'm sticking near you when this all happens. I'm praying it doesn't now because I feel like I'm tempting fate. Now, last question. Music is still going to be incredibly important for morale, and if the world outside is
Yeah.
collapsing, but the stages are still running, which band would you want headlining the night that everyone realizes the festival is the last place on earth? So, who is going to play into that new society? One at Slam Dunk
I
and one
mean,
at
could this be
2000.
anybody? Is this going to be the bands that are
Yeah.
appearing at these festivals, or could it be anybody? Right. Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you three answers. One at the ones that are at Slam Dunk, the ones that are at 2000 Trees, and then your personal choice. Because I'm nice like that.
Personal
The
choice.
apocalypse is happening. We've got to give something
Yeah.
back.
Thanks for that. um. Again, because I'm such a big fan of the Bronx, for 2000 Trees, I'd say the Bronx because I've only ever seen them once before, and they're intense live. I love the band, love the music. So for a party atmosphere at the end, and the way they get into the whole performance side of things, I'd love to be there for that if that was the last band of the night. Um, who can I say for Slam Dunk? Do you know I'm going to give it to someone that I've started listening to recently, and I don't think I've heard a bad song from them so far. Well, there's two bands actually, so I'm going to say I'll give it to Dead Pony, who I've listened to a lot of lately. I
They are
love that band,
terrific.
and the other band is Unpeople. So again, a friend of ours that recorded the last EP, George, he put us on to them. I'd never heard Unpeople before. I believe they were a band before that, Prestamico. I think they were kind of like a mix of them and a few other new members. But yeah, I'm gonna say them because I've recently started listening to them. I love the music, so I'd love to see them do together maybe, or one before the other, whatever. But as a last gig, I'd say them. As for my ideal band, I never got to see Nirvana, so it'd have to be someone like. I was a big fan of like the Seattle scene, so I'd love to see Nirvana, or Alice in Chains as well. Lane Staley was a massive fan of him, and Chris Cornell, Soundgarden. So yeah, ideally, I couldn't pick between them.
You're just going to throw them all on stage and say, "Play for my entertainment."
Yeah, get on with
Amazing.
it.
Well, do you know what? Like, I'm going to tell a really bad joke here just because you said something that like sparked memory in it. You know, we're all camping at this, and it's going to be absolutely intense. Get it? Camping intense. I'll let myself out. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Get your coat.
I will. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. Geoff, I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you on Ampocalypse today. Hopefully we'll get a chance to chat to you at Slam Dunk or 2000Trees or both. And we'll make this a two-parter and find out how this society is actually going. Because we never know.
Yeah.
It could it could become the best place on earth.
It might happen. It might happen.
Geoff, thank you so much. Have a great day. Speak to you soon. Take care, man. Bye.
You too, mate. Thank you very much. Take care.